is Kat, and today I want to talk about new books of January and my reading plans for the month. So let's just get started with the top 5 new releases of January that I personally am most excited for. So first up I have here Passenger by Alexandra Bracken, and this is coming out on January 5th. This is actually the BOOKSPLOSION Book of the Month pick for our January read-along, which is being sponsored by Disney Hyperion. So I was lucky enough to get an early finished copy, and is it not beautiful? Like, I love this cover, and there's a design right on the book itself. God, I love it when they do that. This is the first book in a duology that follows a girl named Etta who experiences this devastating night, and then she somehow ends up on a ship miles away from her home and years away from her time. So we have time travel and some romance and a scavenger hunt type quest, and it all just sounds like something I'm gonna love. If you're interested in joining our read-along this month, the live show is taking place on January 30th, so that is your read-by date, and I will go ahead and put all of the other details down below. Next up I have here Truth Witch by Susan Dennard, which is also out on January 5th. This is the first book in a series that takes place in a fantasy world where some people are born with a witchery or a magical skill. I believe our main characters are two best friends. One is a truth witch who is able to discern truth from lie, and the other is a thread witch who can see the invisible threads that bind people together. So that alone is a pretty cool world setup there, but then we also have a war a-brewing, and there are princes and mercenaries and emperors involved, and it just sounds like a good old time. Also, this book has been getting some great buzz so far. Personally, I've been anticipating it since last spring. At BEA last year, I literally sprinted through the expo hall in the hopes of getting my hands on an early copy, but that didn't happen. Thankfully though, my pre-order will be here tomorrow, so it's all good. Then I have here This Is Where It Ends by Marie K. Nijkamp, and this is also coming out on January 5th. This is a contemporary debut novel, and it just sounds really intense and powerful. Basically, it takes place over the course of 54 minutes, and it chronicles a school shooting from several different perspectives. Now, normally I do prefer the light side of YA contemporary, but this one just sounds so compelling, I don't think I can pass it up. Next up here is Bands of Mourning by Brandon Sanderson, which is coming out on January 26th. This is the 6th book that takes place in the Mistborn world. You know, we have our original Mistborn trilogy, and then we have the spin-off series that takes place 300 years later in the Alloy era. Alloy of Law is the first book, Shadows of Self is the second book, and this right here is book number 3. Brandon Sanderson is like a writing machine because Shadows of Self just came out, and now this one's here, and I think the next book is also coming out this year, like I think fall, but still. Writing machine. I actually haven't even started Alloy of Law yet, but I think it's time I do so. Like, now I have almost the entire next segment of the series to read. I should read it. And finally, I have here The Dark Days Club by Allison Goodman, which is also out on January 26th. This is the first book in a new historical fantasy series. It takes place in London in 1812, and we follow a teenage girl who discovers the dark side of London. And by dark side, I of course mean the side with demons. The author says it's like Pride and Prejudice meets Buffy in high society England, and to that I say, yes please. That definitely sounds like something I want to read. So those are the 5 new releases of January that I'm most excited to get to, and now let's talk a little bit about my reading plans for January and also kind of the rest of the year. Now, I'm not gonna get into my goals from last year because I'm pretty sure I failed all of them, and I just don't want to talk about that. And consequently, my goals for this year are just not very ambitious. It really bums me out when I don't hit my goals, and I don't feel like I want that kind of stress in my life right now. What I do want in my life right now is to focus on my writing. I really want to get my shit together in that department, so reading is not my #1 priority. I'm not doing a TBR jar, I'm not doing any challenges aside from the Goodreads challenge, which I just put at 52 books. Like, I want to read about a book a week. I feel like that's manageable and a good, decent number there. So yeah, for the month of January, I will, of course, be reading Passenger by Alexandra Bracken, and after that, I don't know. I want to leave my options open, but the best looking options right now are honestly Truthwitch and the Alloy Era books by Brandon Sanderson. Like, those are looking real good. Also, I kind of want to finish the books I failed to finish last year that I'm still currently reading. Magnus Chase, Library of Souls, Career of Evil. I should finish those. I'll try. I might. I don't know. I'm trying to shake off the bad vibes from the end of 2015 and just move forward into the light. Not like in a dying way. Not into the light, but more like the future is bright. You know that's right. I'm so sorry, I'm done. But yeah, that is just about it for this video today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have a great night, and I will have another video up soon, so I will see you then. Goodbye! I want to read that, and Shadows of which is out on January 23rd. Nah! This is the first book in a series. It is his I can't say words today. Okay, so queso is cheese in Espanol. 52 books in a year. It's not too high, it's not too low, it's the motherfucking Goldilocks of book challenges. I got like 2 gangster